Hi, welcome to How to Repair. This is a specific call out to all domestic appliance engineers in the field today. It's not only a call to action, it's a call to arms. And also the general public who is fed up to the back teeth of having to buy a new washing machine every 5 to 7 years because they are uneconomical to repair. Engineers and small businesses are systematically being put out of work by the companies that we do the work for. And on so many occasions, the general public does not understand how the manufacturers are building the obsolescence in. On some occasions, we are actually getting the blame for high labour costs and call-out charges when the fault lies with the manufacturer. This video is not only going to show you how we can change things working together, but it is also going to show you how we can use their tools against them. The enemy that we are facing is planned obsolescence, specifically the sealed washing machine drum, which is just one of a few components that are guaranteed to build obsolescence into washing machines today. Parts that used to be affordable and easily replaced, like the drum bearings and seal or the spider that holds the drum, are no longer accessible on these new sealed drums. What it means is the two halves of the drum are welded together, instead of either having clips or bolts where you could separate the drum and replace the components if you wish to. This is not just bad design, this is the manufacturer's way of making sure you, the general public, has to buy a new machine every so many years. And in the process, they're guaranteeing that they can wipe out most of the repair industry when it comes to small businesses or the average DIYer wanting to repair their machine. Now, the ugly truth is the governing bodies that control the industry with regards to the way the manufacturers conduct themselves only seem to be caring about the energy consumption that the machine uses or how little water the machine takes. They don't seem to be looking at the Right to Repair Act properly. Machines should be repairable for an indefinite period if the consumer wants to do the work. It should not have to go on to the landfill because a manufacturer is deliberately building obsolescence into the machine. It seems like governments are quite happy for this practice to continue because, let's face it, the more machines a manufacturer sells, the more revenue the governments raise from the sale of these machines, which is actually good for them in the long term. It helps prop up these false economies we seem to be living in today. Now let me show you how we can fight back. Sometimes manufacturers are too clever for their own boots, and hidden in this software is a recorder, and this recorder counts the amount of washes that this machine has done. This is a new machine and will have a very low number, but I'm going to show you how to access this so you are able to have a look at your own machine. And what I ask of you is, when your machine fails and you have to replace it, please come back to this video, put the make, the model, and when it failed, with how many washes. And then the world is going to be able to see on what these companies are up to. And don't worry, if you're not Bosch Group, I am coming for all the other companies in the long term who are making sealed drums, because no one seems to be doing anything about this whatsoever, and I have made previous obsolescent videos which are going on deaf ears. Manufacturers are getting away with it, and they shouldn't. It's your money and you have the right to repair. Okay, to enter the actual counter mode, you're going to have to follow me quite closely, and I will take my time and explain it in layman terms. You must remember, Bosch is a large corporation and they have multiple different brands all across Europe and the world. In the UK, we know their machines as Bosch, Neff and Siemens. In Europe, they also have Barley, Constructor and a few other brands. All around the world, it will vary. And this machine has got a standard layout. It's a Series 4 and it will apply to a Series 6 as well, and maybe other models of machine. I'll come to the models in a minute. So treat the dial as if it was a clock face. Off is 12 o'clock, Cotton's 1 o'clock, Eco 2 o'clock, Easy Care 3 o'clock, Delicate's 4 o'clock, Wool 5 o'clock. Wool is what we care about, and Cotton's. So what we have to do is turn the dial to Cotton's, wait until not just the program illuminates, we have to wait until the amount of time that wash is going to do to come up on the display. And then we will press start button and hold it down while turning the dial to position 5. So let's start that, turn it to Cotton's, display, time, hold it down, turn it to position 5, and now we have PC coming up and a number. I have only done 4 washes with this machine at present. and this counts the amount of washes the machine has done. You will be able to do this at home to check it works, and all I ask of you is to record when your machine goes wrong. Come back to the video in a few years' time, please just say the make, the model, and why it failed with how many washes it had done. And if it's the bearings, we are going to see a certain number coming up from around the world. People with Barley machines will be able to do it in Spain. People in Portugal will be able to do it with their brands. In UK, Bosch, Neff and Siemens, we will be able to put that information in. And it will be a very interesting thing to see over the years if there is a consistency. Because I don't have the money to send this drum off to an actual specialist to have the bearings analysed, to see how many rotations they would do before they started failing. I'm not able to send the rubber seal off to see how long it would last. I am only a one-man band bringing this information to you, trying to improve the world. I'm lucky, I'm an old guy now, and I'm spending most of my time exposing the industry for what it is. We have to get to a point in the world where we stop consuming so much. I know the cogs of industry need to move on, but we have got to actually change. Society has got to change. Anyway, that's how to do that. Now let me give you some last bit of information which you will really be astounded with. Now, I've done a lot of research for you on this machine because I'm doing a whole video series, but the drum for this machine is over £360 to buy, and I took a screenshot from Bosch's website. All the manufacturers are doing this when it comes to sealed drums. The only difference between the old Bosch drum and the new Bosch drum was approximately 10 bolts that held the two halves of the drum together, which would allow you to gain access to the bearings and spider if you wish to replace them. The manufacturers now are not using bolts. What they're doing is using glues and welding the plastic so the two halves of the drum are inseparable. You have to buy a new drum. Now, when you consider this machine at the time of filming cost just under £500 and the manufacturer is expecting you to pay £360 for a new drum, you're not going to do it. You're going to go out and buy a new washing machine, which is what they want you to do. They are taking away the right to repair. And here are some facts about this drum. To not only understand the complexity of the problem, you have to understand how many drums are being made like this around the world. Now, this drum is part number 230003178, and this drum fits a staggering 40,000 models of machine. This one model of machine that we have here, which is a Bosch Series 4, and that drum is also fitted to Series 6. And this is a WAN 28259GB. And there are 6 variations of this machine during the production run. This either means the manufacturer stopped production and then started again because demand was so high, or they made some alterations to the machine during the production run. But if you start to look at those numbers and you start to understand how many millions of these drums are out there from one manufacturer, you start to understand how much e-waste we are creating because of this problem. And also, this machine is sold in Currys in the UK, John Lewis, and the company that I bought it off, which is Marks Electrical. And they already have 1,300 reviews on this machine. So it gives you an idea that the average production run on one individual model of machine is in the tens of thousands. You only have to do the numbers to understand how many of these drums are causing the problem around the world. And please leave your thoughts in the comments on this video, and also in the future come back to the video when your machine fails, put the make, the model and the date it failed and why it failed. It will be so useful to see this information in the future. I hope you enjoyed the video. We're doing a whole video series on these machines consisting of error codes, diagnostic problems and also how to replace components. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Remember to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you wish, and if we really do help you, please remember you can always donate to the website by clicking on the Bipolar Beer page, and that helps us make these videos for you and exposing the industry for what it is today.